I have my mic off. Okay, I would have my mic off. Okay, I'm not in the camera either. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. I just wanted to get on and say a live Mother's Day card for everyone today, for all the wonderful, beautiful mothers, and of course, fathers who are mothers. We always want to give those shout outs. Aunts, uncles, anybody who's a mom to a parent, it's, it's a good thing when you're nourishing a child. So I just want to say happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers today. Don't want to get off track with that. But also, I haven't been on here. I've been getting on morning prayer, but I haven't really been telling those stories. And I was just excited for Mother's Day sitting here because I'm down in South Carolina, by myself. My son is in New York, but it's an awesome thing. Waking up thankful, even from last year's Mother's Day to this Mother's Day. And you know what? Being transparent, from becoming a mother the first day with my child, from becoming a mother the first day he was born. I remember the time he was born, 9:18 p.m. I remember that his water broke right before my baby shower at 9 in the morning, 12 hours in labor at Bronx Lebanon Hospital. I remember my baby boy coming, thought it was a girl. Everything at the baby shower was in pink, and then God blessed me with a boy. His penis was hiding during the sonograms, okay, because they told me it was a girl. So everything about my son was a blessing, and like I said, everything that I thought wasn't. I thought he was going to be a girl, and he was a boy. Okay, just many things, just experiencing motherhood. And what I want to talk about today, so I won't get off track, and I don't have too much time because I do have to work on this Mother's Day. I know a lot of mothers, I'll go out later, but I know a lot of mothers will be in church or spending time with their family today or just being pampered. And I'm just excited today, even if I'm not pampered, but God's been pampering me, okay, as a mother. And I'm just excited with my growth. We all want to be the best parent. And usually our generations before us teach us how to be a parent. So I had strong women in my life, showed me how to be a great mom, great grandmothers, great aunts, great men to show me love, my dad and uncles. So I had a great upbringing. So I was very a great role model to my son. I believed. I was very overprotective. I made sure that he got to school in the morning. I wasn't one of those parents that slept in and just wished and hoped he got to school. I actually physically made sure he got to school almost till he was in high school. Okay, I made sure my son walked through them doors. Growing up in Harlem, just a lot of stuff that could happen on its way to school. So this Mother's Day card is really being thankful for my growth. And the story that I want to tell today is to all the women, that may be still growing as a mom. And our pain is really what activates our power. Got all my little happy Mother's Day wishes coming in now. My son's father just wished me happy Mother's Day. My son already wished me happy Mother's Day. I have a lot of friends and family wishing me happy Mother's Day. It's good when people are physically telling you you're a great mom and they're wishing you, all this stuff. But physically inside, sometimes everybody's not getting that happy Mother's Day that they want to get, right? Maybe their mom is not here. They're feeling down and low because their mom is not here, or their parents or their grandparent is not here to say happy Mother's Day. So everybody's not always so happy on Mother's Day, as some of us are. But I'm going to tell you why this smile is on my face. I'm just thankful for my growth as a mom. Like I said, I protected my baby boy from little. All of us could be better because none of us are perfect as parents, right? But I know I was there for my son through his years and wanted to be there for him and thought I was there for him unconditionally, that I was always a phone call away, or if he ever needed me, I was there. But as parents, we fall short. All right. And even when we think we did our best, and our kids are off and they live in a prosperous life, they graduated from college, that's most of people's dreams, that their kids graduate from college or own their own business, right? We always got to go to college, own your own business, become real successful in life. We always want that for our children. And when we think that they're at their peak, right? Like in their 20s, they graduated or they're still in school and they're proceeding their dreams, you're there as the cheerleader and you're wishing them luck. You're wishing them luck and you're wishing the best and you're praying for them. And then when they do get that degree or they get that great job, you're sitting back waiting for grandkids or you're waiting for them to get married. As the dream goes on, all of us have different hopes. Some of us may go to the army. It's a lot of different things we can do to live out our life, to make a good life. But as parents, we always want the best for our kids. And so you can really understand how I was with my one and only son. I wanted the best for him. Even when I moved down south, I just wanted, the hedge of protection to be around him because he was never in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was a good kid. He did graduate from high school. He was prom king. He was in college. He had a great job. So my only child was doing great, So I was coming down here just wanting to do great things for him, just to add on to his life, But even at those times when you think everything is going great, right? Because everybody's kids maybe didn't go so great in their life. Maybe their life wasn't that easy for them. Or maybe they lost a child, or, maybe something happened to their child. Maybe they went to jail. Doesn't mean because your kid is great kid and on honor roll, that life is so grand and dandy that you only need to be thankful in those times, because you never know when the storm is coming, even for those good kids, even for those great kids that never gave you a problem, never had a fight a day in his life, never pants hanging off his butt, none of those things, right? That the society want to judge them on. Pull your pants up is a big thing, especially for our young Black men. So not to be judgmental, but society judges you on many aspects, just seeing that. So that's why we tell our Black men to pull up their pants, because we don't want you to be judged. We know it's a style. We know it's something you feel comfortable doing, right? Because we know the time changes. But when society sees you like that, they can judge you as a robber, a thief, a drug dealer, a hood, a hood person. So it's many things that come with that. So that's why we tell our Black men to pull their pants up, just so people who see this don't think that I'm mocking people who have their pants down. All right. So this is Mother's Day. Let's get back on track. And I just want to say I am thankful for my growth as a mom. And I'm out here shouting out all the mothers who went through pain, even as a parent. Okay. But it's Mother's Day. So we're going to stay focused on Mother's Day and how our pain births our power. How our pain births our power. So all that I just said in the beginning, I only got one son, but I have a lot of sisters and brothers who I helped raise, right? And I always wanted the best for them. Got a couple of gray hairs up here now. Still got my baby here, of course, but I got some gray hairs in there. And them gray hairs came from knowledge, wisdom, and worrying as a parent. So I'm out here for all the gray hair mothers, giving people shout outs for Mother's Day. And just wanted to say that I'm thankful for my growth as a mother today. Okay. So the little story that I'm going to quickly tell for Mother's Day, right? This is my Mother's Day card to all the mothers. God blessed us with all children, right? We wouldn't be a mother. People wouldn't be able to say Happy Mother's Day if he didn't bless us with kids, right? How could we be called a mother if we didn't give birth to one, if we didn't adopt one, if we didn't help raise someone else's child? However you are a mother today, you wouldn't be that without kids, right? So you can't take all the glory because you couldn't be a great whatever if you didn't have kids there, right? Duh. So I am thankful for my son. I'm so thankful for my son. We'd be like, oh my God, our kids put us through so much when they was little. But then when they get grown, now you're in your season. You're like, oh, thank God it's over, But even when they get grown, it's still a season you got to watch them because, that's what happened for me. My son gave me great years that I didn't have no complaints through his teenage years, that I sped through those. I even did childcare, watching other people's kids, 6 other kids going through Harlem, 2 babies, 4 toddlers, because I only had 1 kid. So I was always a mother goose with other people's kids. But I am so thankful for the season that I am in with my son. I am just so thankful that I'm just able to wake up and, my son is okay. I'm okay. We just want to be thankful today that our kids are okay or whatever season that we're in. Okay. Just to be thankful. And I want to tell you again, because thankfulness doesn't always come with a smile. We may be in a season that we lost someone. We may be in a season that our mothers aren't here, right? It doesn't mean that smile has to be joy behind it. It just means that we're just thankful no matter the season that we're in. Okay? And now let me get to the quick story why I'm saying this. First, let's just read the devotion for today. May 14th. I am a mighty God. Nothing is too difficult for me. I have chosen to use weak ones like you to accomplish my purpose. Your weakness is designed to open you up to my power. Therefore, do not fear your limitations or measure the day's demands against your strength. What I require of you is to stay connected to me, living in a trusting dependence on my limitless resources. When you face unexpected demands, there is no need to panic. Remember that I am with you. Talk with me and listen while I'll talk with you through each challenge, situation. I am not a careless God. When I allow difficulties to come in your life, I equip you fully to handle them. Relax in my presence, trusting me and my strength. And a lot of people don't know when problems come with their kids or drama is really God testing us and giving us strength through that pain. So, I don't want to never feel the pain of losing a child, right? Okay. No one can compare that, or losing a mom. I did lose my grandmother, so I know that pain. But the comparison of a pain of losing a loved one, never want to feel that, right? But we do have to feel that. And then we have to say, wow, what good can we feel out of that? Because that pain goes away after time, but it doesn't always totally go away. So we got to look that out of that pain, we did gain something from it. And what we gained was power. All right. That hurt gave you power. Okay. Yeah. It may have been real physical hurt, suffering, your heart almost couldn't take it. But God is always going to give you the peace and the peace of mind one day at a time. And whatever you have went through, whatever storm, I know, like I said, I can't compare, especially if I didn't go through it. But what I can tell you is the word says here, any pain that you have brings, and trusting in God that it happened for a reason, is going to bring you power. And that's why I'm on this line today and excited about Mother's Day, knowing that my pain has brought me power. Okay. No matter what pain that I suffered through these years, from when my son was a baby, he even had to have a hernia operation. And I was in that hospital scared and then whatever. But my baby came out of that operation with no problems, right? But at that time, I was worried. I was a young mom. I was 26, my first child. So, of course, I was worried. But the strength gave me prayer and believing in God that he was going to be okay. But still, me being young and being a new mom, I still was worried, okay? But that took me to another strength. And then every time little things happen, your son may fall, get a scratch on his knee, and you want it to heal, Things may happen, or other accidents may happen more in depth than that. Each time, God gives you a peace of mind that you're going to be okay, all right, no matter what happens. And in that presence of peace, you're trusting him, and in trusting him, you're getting strength. So it says 2 Corinthians 12:9. But he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, I will boast all the more gladly about my weakness, so that Christ's power may rest on me. See, I'm boasting today about my weakness. And the reason I'm boasting on this Mother's Day about my weakness is because I'm happy about my weakness, because it brought me growth. And in that growth, it gave me power. And even like I said, when we adulting moms and we think we're the perfect mom, and our kids done, got all the accolades that you expected them to get, or they turned out to be this awesome child, or, you're just so proud of them. And then something drastic can happen. Okay. Something really drastic can happen. Then you're saying, hey, why did that happen? Why did that happen to my child? And God tests us in areas to get our attention, because we're so used to leaning on the good things that, we're adding him in there. We're saying, hey, we're thankful that, this happened to my kid. God bless my child. My child is blessed. But then when the bad things come, to anyone's kid, you say, oh, is my child cursed? Why did this happen to my kid? God, why did you do this? And we got to know that if that didn't happen, we would just lean on our flesh. We would lean on everyday understanding, not even adding God, not being appreciative of his glory, and using our children and their gifts for his purpose. Because he blessed us with these kids. We wouldn't be the great parent to worry about these kids or care for them or protect them if God didn't bless us with them. And before our children were born, they were authentically designed, just like us, for a purpose. Okay. And once we realized that we are their caretakers, that was so amazed me about Mary with Jesus. She, in the beginning, knew that she had to protect Jesus for many reasons, right? Because he was Jesus. We know that. But as he grew older, she had to learn to trust God more with Jesus when he would go off on his own. Okay. Yeah, she was still home, probably like wondering, oh my God, is anything going to happen to my child? But she had to believe in God's truth to protect him. She did all she could do up until the age when he started hanging with his disciple friends. Probably wasn't coming home because he was on missions and healing people and doing miracles. So Jesus probably wasn't home every night like when he used to live with Mary. And that, to be said, is that's the same thing with our kids. They move off, they get married, and you're expecting them to be okay, and you put them in God's hands, right? But what happens when the time of turmoil comes as a parent, right? We learned of the world how to protect our kids, how to protect them from the streets, how to protect them from any harm, right? But what about these spiritual battles, the unseen battles, the unseen battles? How are we going to protect our kids and they're not in our households no more, right? They're not physically right there that we can tell them, sit down, stay there, I can watch you, right? We can't do this no more. So how are we going to protect our kids when they're in another country, when they're in another state? Because, we can't be this great parent only when our kids are at home. We got to continue as generations, be a great grandmother, be a great great grandmother. And how we're going to be this great person for our kids is praying for them, right? Because you ain't going to be physically there to touch your grandkids every day and protect them from schools or when they're at the mall or when they're at the amusement park. The same for your kids when they get grown. So I am super excited that I had to know that God blessed me with this gift. That was my idol, my child. But I had to put it in his hands at a certain age. I had to leave that protection to him. And my testimony, what made me stronger in these last 2 years was realizing that I wasn't in control. Even those years that I thought I was in control of my baby, it was really God still strategically protecting him wherever he was when I wasn't there. Okay, those hours I wasn't there. Yeah, I physically was there when he got out of school and got him home. But what about the hours he was in the school? Anything could have happened, right? What about the hours he went on those field trips, right? Anything could have happened. What about those hours he went on those long bus rides with his schools, going to different colleges and different places, visiting different things? I wasn't there, right? So yeah, we think we're in control as parents, but God has always been in control. And I have a couple of journals here that I've been writing, even since I got down here. They read. No more room in them. I'm getting ready to get off and I'll come back on later. There's no more room in these pages to write. Probably can't see it because I can't see it on there. This is my other book. Okay, you can't see nothing. Oh, there you go. Okay, there's words on there, guys. I'm not crazy. No, you can't see the words. But I also have my Bible. Okay, that's the lighting. Study journal, right? All these books, while I'm showing these real quick on Mother's Day, it shows even from when I was in New York City, I used to write in my little journal and just connect, write my thoughts down. But like I said, when I left New York City, I never thought that when I left my one and only child, that anything would attack him, right? But I was down here still praying for my son, right? Because I've always been a spiritual mom. But when a real attack comes, as parents, like I said, for generational curses, you want to celebrate Mother's Day and let them celebrate you, but you wouldn't be a great mom without your kids, like I was saying. So when our kids get grown and you say, oh, they're out the house, my job is over. They're grown now, they're going to take care of their own. Your job is not done. It ain't really done because there's going to be other attacks that you're going to have to be in the house praying for your kids, praying for your grandkids, And like I said, these matriarchs that we used to have, our great grandmothers and our great aunts that were praying for us aren't going to die, right? So if you ain't in the same season, knowing that, oh, the enemy ain't gonna come after your family in the unseen, they are. So I was just saying today how I'm excited on Mother's Day, even though I'm down here by myself in South Carolina, how my growth these last 3 years, the pain activated my power. So don't think that the pain you're going through, even if you lost a loved one, even if your kid is not there, or your kid is not where it's supposed to be in life, or maybe your life is not as perfect, that pain brings you closer to God, that intimacy, all right? And sometimes we have this pain so we can get closer with God, okay? And it births out a new you. It births out something that you can pass on for generation and generation to your grandkids, and let them know when you're gone how to pray in the spirit, because they're going to have to pray for themselves. They're going to have to pray for their grandkids. So this is the legacy you want to be leaving for your kids. Don't think when the kids is out the door, you're supposed to plant these seeds in them before they were 8 years old, right? Taught them about spirituality, taught them about having a relationship with God, trusting God, because of course they want to trust their parents, right? But they can't only rely on us, because when we're gone, they have a spiritual father that they can lean on, not our understanding, but his understanding. And that's where God has really brought me. All that physical things I gave my son through these years as a mom, every new name brand sneaker that came out, every new PlayStation game that he wanted, giving him the best because he was the only kid, or sending him to Catholic school so he wouldn't have to be in no public rundown school and fighting different people. All of this, I wanted the best for him. But again, when we think we're instilling this stuff for our kids, because all around me you see is my son. Okay, it's my Mother's Day. This is my happy place. That's what my pillow says. This is our happy place. I'm in my war room, right? This is my closet that I'm in today. Because when things happen with our kids, we're going to have to get back in our war room. We're going to have to get, as parents, no matter what age they're in our war room when the enemy comes under attack for our family. That's what we're going to have to get. This is me and my baby boy in New York City, okay? One of the last pictures I think I took in the hallway with him in New York City. And in front of it, I got the crown of Jesus, all right? And I have that. This is all symbolic on Mother's Day because this is what brings me my peace, my joy, okay? Of course, I like people saying, Happy Mother's Day, you're a great mom, and, I'm glad to see you happy, and I'm glad everything is okay. But the peace and the joy that God has brought me, and he's still doing in me and my son's lives, building our relationship, building growth, activating my power, knowing that no matter what I see, that my son is not an idol, that he is one of God's children, and God is going to protect them. For me not to worry about anything that's going on, with my five senses that may try to trick me, that God is not the real protector in any situation in our lives, okay? I also wanted to read here something out of my journal that I have wrote. And then I'm going to go clock in real quick. My growth as a mother. My pain has made me stronger. And you know what? Give me a little 5-minute break. And I'm going to do that right now because I have to clock in. Right? And hold on one second, guys. Appreciate y'all. This is Mother's Day. Okay, thank you for that little break. See, thank you for the blessings of God that I work from home. Okay, my little code came on 228107. Hold on one more moment, guys. Please. All right, mothers. Thank you. Thank you for your patience again. And that's from an awesome, that beat is from my girl Keats the Kingstress. She's an awesome mom. Happy Mother's Day to you, Keats. I got a shout out to some mothers today. My sister Jamila Diallo, it's your first Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to Daphne. Happy Mother's Day to Plashawn Tina Bing. Happy Mother's Day to my Auntie Deb. Uncle James' wife. Happy Mother's Day to Aunt Dorothy. Happy Mother's Day to Stephanie Diallo, my mother, Taylor. Happy Mother's Day to Aunt Rochelle. Happy Mother's Day to TT, her new baby, and her little girl. Happy Mother's Day to Rocky S. King, my cousin. Who else? Who else? Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Everybody from Clay Avenue, all the ladies. Happy Mother's Day from all the ladies down here in Columbia, South Carolina. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Okay? So now we are excited as mothers, right? Growing. Because don't think because your kids are out the house that you're still not growing as a mom. We're growing every day as women. And I'm excited as today for Mother's Day, you know, and my growth as a mom. Because none of us are perfect moms. And I just wanted to read something out of my devotional, okay? Something personal. And it says, my growth as a mother, my pain has made me stronger. Never had any complaints. Okay. Never had any complaints or worries for my child, only when he had his hernia as a child. Okay. So the pain of childbirth. Okay. That was real painful. Worrying of my child's safety. Okay. And then I had a real big dream, you know, when I first moved down here that Satan said he was coming for my baby boy. I was dreaming and some big black man said, I'm coming for your son, you know. So that stilled my mind. Like, you know, why did I have that dream? But otherwise in my life, I never really had no real worries for my son. Never had it for my baby boy. But I did instill morals in him. I instilled manners in him. You know, he had a spiritual relationship with God. And God, before even I instilled all those things in him, authentically made him. Okay? Made my son respectable, gave him a lot of talents, gave him a lot of gifts. You know, I'm just so thankful for my son. And all this that I'm saying is the thankfulness that I am, you know, to God for my baby boy, for my son, who's 26 years old. He's not a baby boy no more, but he's my baby boy because he's my only child. You know, my only job was there to protect him, to activate his gifts, help them, you know, to cultivate his gifts and to protect him, to enrich him, you know, with a vision and wisdom and, you know, give him the best. Like I said, putting him in private schools so he didn't have to go to public schools. He had a chance. And help him teach him the world of life, street life, you know, how to protect yourself, how to have street smarts, not to walk around with your head down, not to be involved in other people's business, right? And this came from generations and generations of women before me. This wisdom, all right, was taught to me and men in my life. My dad, my uncles, can't only say women. So it made me a good role model to my son. But who knew? Who knew? After you raise your kids and you instill all these things in them and they're grown, right? You say they're out of our life. We could, you know, Stella got a groove back. Now I can start doing me. But God is having us growing that we're in a season. Okay, yeah, our kids are grown now. Now what about our relationship with him? What about our intimacy with him, right? And sometimes we drift off now that we did our job, you know, being a great parent, we want to do us. We want to do the partying. We want to do the sugar nugget. And it's all good to have fun, because don't get me wrong, I love having a good time. I surely do. And what had to get my attention was even moving down here out of New York City, I was thinking, you know, come start part 2, come get a great job and, you know, get to meet new people and, you know, start a great new life, maybe get remarried. But my attention was not for that. God's purpose was not for that. And sometimes when we finish raising our kids, because we're so tunnel vision, getting our kids raised and making sure we don't do our purpose, right? We don't add our purpose in there. So when are we going to have this time to do God's purpose, right? So he'll sometimes get our attention. Something bad may happen just to get our attention, just not get our attention off the worldly stuff. You say, wow, why did this have to happen to get our attention? Because, hello, I've been on this earth 51 years. And one, I've been having a relationship with God from a little girl, okay? I've been doing Bible studies. Y'all done seen me show this book a lot of times. I've been reading a lot of Bible studies from little, right? I still don't know the Bible like the back of my hand, right? I still didn't know going through my teenage life the power that I had within me, right? I still was going off the world. I still was so attracted to boys or things that could distract me, right? I didn't devote myself all the way to God. So it took me to go through some turns and some lefts and some rights to get it right. And he really got my attention after I thought, hey, I did my job and I came down here. Stella got a groove back. I was ready to start my second season. I'm 46. Start doing me, start doing something that I want to do for me. I raised my son. But on Mother's Day, we got to always remember, even when we raise our kids, we ain't done. We ain't done. And that's how he got my attention was, I know you did a great job. You raised your child. Now you're down here. Now I'm going to break your foot. I'm going to break your foot because I didn't move you down here for you to start partying wild again like when you was in your teenage years. Okay? So I wanted to base that off is that I'm just excited for my pain that happened these last 2 years. I'm excited for getting old. I'm excited for being a mom. And I'm excited that God gave me a child to learn this pain because I don't think I could have learned this pain no other way. It's a difference when you have a kid and your kid, that pain, it hit different. So I just want us to know as mothers, even with those pains, it brings us power. That's the whole point of all this rambling going on today on Mother's Day. Know your power within. Knowing that all that pain you went through as a mother, even if it was you, drugs, hard times, all the pain you went through, or maybe you put your kids through, or maybe your kids put you through. Okay? We're going to release everything into the atmosphere. Whatever pain may be to you, know that pain brought you power as a mom. And know that you're still growing as a mom every day. Even if your kids are out the house, because you're breaking generational curses for your grandkids, all right? You're a matriarch now. So if you're not praying for your grandkids or showing spiritual growth or just even letting go of some of the pain that maybe had happened when you was a child, or just even knowing that the pain that you went through has gave you power. It gave you strength, okay? So I'm just excited about the pain that I went through with my baby because I think if I wouldn't have went through that pain, I wouldn't know my growth. I wouldn't know my power, okay? And I'm just excited to let other mothers know. I know there's even some kids maybe that lost their parents. Know that pain can bring you closer. It can give you an intimacy that no other can bring. It can give you peace. I know it sounds crazy because this pain that you may be going through, you're like, hey, she don't understand. She over there talking about this. She ain't even been through this. But I want to tell you, some things that I went through that you may don't understand. But what I can tell you is God brought me the peace. And the only reason I knew that peace was from a little kid, remembering them stories like, when I was laying in my bed, like, can these stories help me now? Is it going to bring me peace? And it sure did. Because he said, you see my child, you came back to me. You added me. And that's how every day, even when the problem wasn't resolved, or even when it looked like it was getting worse, the peace still came. The peace still came. And for me standing strong in the truth, and not withering, the power came after. So first, the peace will come, give you a peace of mind. And it's so funny because I'm not making this up. My Bible journal here is so funny. It's called My Bible Study Journal. Peace for my anxious heart. So your heart is going to be anxious. I'm sorry, this lighting is horrible. Your heart is going to be anxious, okay? Can't do nothing about that. It's going to beat. But you got to talk to yourself to bring the heartbeat down. You want people to go, they say breathe in and out because you calming yourself down. You're bringing yourself back. Well, it's the same thing when your brain is moving like that. Okay? You got to say, peace be within me. Knowing that God is going to bring that peace. The same way you know by breathing slow, that you're going to get your breaths back. You know that when you say, bring that peace upon me, God is going to bring that peace on you. And I'm telling you, when we going through as mothers with our kids these days, you're going to need all the peace in the world. Okay? Even when they grown, when they little, because you're going to have your grandkids. And like I said, y'all the matriarchs now. You're not getting younger. Your mothers, your aunts, your great aunts that was praying for the family, they 1 foot in the grave, and not saying like a bad thing. We get old to die. Okay? So I am just thankful with my old butt being 51 for my growth and the pain that I went through. Okay? I know some people say, oh, you may be jinxed, or why that happened to you? God is punishing you. That's a lie. Because if you read the word right here, okay, which I'm about to read, is when your pain comes, it brings power. It brings power. So as mothers, we should need to know that when we do have that pain, even in our families, that the power is coming right behind it. And I just want to read this one little quick part because then I'm going to end, okay? And this is Paul and the vision. And all of us are sinners, okay? All of us got a little problem that we have to be accountable for, because if we were perfect, we'd be like Jesus, first of all. We're not going to be like that, but not even that, so we can stay closer to God. So even though Paul is Paul, he still had something that he was trying to fight. And God would not take it away from him, because he said, that's how you keep your intimacy with me. That's how you become relatable and transparent. And you don't go off thinking that you could do all these powers without me. So it's going to be one flaw with you as a mother. Okay. You're not going to be a perfect mother. You're going to have a flaw, because that's the only way you're going to keep staying close to God, with this flaw. Okay. And don't think you're a jinx when all these problems are coming, because that also brings your power. So I just want to read here real quick. And it says 12:3, whether my body was there or just my spirit, I don't know. Only God knows. But I do know that I was caught up into paradise and heard things so astounding that they cannot be told. So this is Paul talking about his experience with God, okay? He was saying that he had dreams, and he doesn't like to boast about his relationship with God. He likes to show his relationship with God. But these people, he has to prove to them something, okay? And I want to read down here because I don't want to get off track, okay? I'm sorry, my eyes and everything. But this is what it says here. Paul used to tell about visions and revelations he had received from the Lord. Paul explained that he didn't know he was taken up in... No, I'm sorry, I didn't want to read that. I'm sorry, here we go. 12:7a, excuse me, Lord. We don't know what Paul's thorn in the flesh was, because he doesn't tell us. Some have suggested that it was epilepsy or disease that Paul had. Whatever the case was, it was a chronic and debilitating problem, which at times kept him from working. Okay. And the thorn was a hindrance in his ministry that he prayed for its removal, because it used to stop him from working. But God refused to take that problem away from Paul. He said, even with that problem, you're still very self-sufficient, meaning that he was still good enough to use for his purpose. So stop thinking people got to be perfect patties. You're not going to be a perfect patty or a perfect mom. So this thorn must have been difficult for Paul, because it kept Paul humble, and it reminded him of the need of constant contact with God. So this flaw that you have keeps you humble, because if you didn't, you would think you're the number one mom. You would think all this grand stuff. Even if you're not a mom and you're just a person, your ego would be on fleek if God didn't give us flaws, okay? And then it says, benefited those around him as they saw God at work in his life. So with this flaw, it also benefits God, because people can see the God in you now. Because God, with this flaw, God is saying, oh, God must be working in this person, because look at this flaw he has. So this could only be the work of God. All right. And it says here, when we are strong in abilities or resources, we are tempted to do God's work on our own. So when we depend on our own resources, right, to help our kids, or, being a great mom, we forget about God, okay? And then it says here that it can lead to pride, all right? Pride. So when you think that you're doing all the resources around you and abilities, your pride comes. So as parents, now we're very prideful. We don't even want to admit to the flaws when things happen, with our kids, because we're so prideful. But then it says, when we are weak, allowing God to fill us with his power, then we are stronger than we can ever be on our own. And God does not intend for us to be weak or passive or ineffective. This provides enough hindrance and setbacks without creating them. So what he's doing is, these obstacles are to make us stronger. It's to make us depend on God, okay? These obstacles that we have in our life with our kids, or anything that's going on as moms, they're coming in your life. It could be bills or whatever it may be. It could be a little obstacle. You got to go have an operation. This obstacle is coming as a parent, so you could depend on God, okay? So you can lean on him, so you can get his understanding and his power activated in you. So don't think because your kids are out the house, or they're even little, and you're just starting your new family. Your job is more than just getting them off to school, making sure they fed, making sure the house is good, making sure the husband is happy. Spiritually, you're going to be a matriarch, okay? Spiritually, you're going to have to prepare them if you die today or tomorrow to pray for the unseen, to have a spiritual relationship with God. So I'm just excited that even in my pain these last 3 years, because I thought, hey, I did my job. Hey, my son he good, he grown, he can bring me some grandkids. I'm down here starting over. And he had to show me, no, see, I know, see, you knew me from little and you've been doing good. Now I got to show you, get your attention. Now is the time you're going to start doing my purpose. Now you're going to start really activating your gifts. And the only way you're going to know that it's not you working, is me. I'm going to have to hit you with some pain. I'm going to have to hit you with some pain. This pain you ain't ready for, but you've been preparing for it from a little girl, because you are in your truth with me. You know you rooted. So God know who to pick for certain pains. That's why they say no pain can bear that you can't handle. Okay? Because he didn't set you up to fail. You just didn't know you had all this in you until this pain came. And then you're going to get in your war room and all those things like this closet I'm in that I wanted to make my diva closet. And it ain't all the way done yet. I ended up making up a prayer war room. I didn't even want half the things I wanted in there before. I wanted a comfy velvet chair in here. I wanted New York City behind me to remind where I came from, my roots. I want pictures of my son. I want my happy place. I want my Bible in here, because I know at 51 where I was as a teenager, where I came from, where my growth came from, how he rebirthed this power in me through the pain of with my son. So that's the awesome, amazing thing of making me a mom, just like Mary. Ooh, hallelujah. He gives you assignments, right? And that assignment is to protect, right? And then even when after you finish protecting it, and maybe you done sent it off in the world, you still there as a prayer warrior, protecting your seeds. Okay. So yeah, you happy that they're getting this great job. You're happy that they're accomplishing things. But then when the attack comes, you got to be in your household ready, because he coming. When he see things are too good and you're children of God, he coming for you. I promise you, he coming for you. So I'm just so thankful for my pain and how God birthed out this new power in me. And I get stronger and stronger every time I understand why this pain came. All right. And I just want to end it here, because now I'm down to 11:15. Paul was not merely revealing the feelings. He was defending the authority as an apostle of Jesus Christ. Paul was hurt that the church in Corinthians doubted and questioned him. He defended himself to the cause of good, not for his selfish ego. When you are put on trial, do you think only about saving your reputation, or you are concerned about what the people are thinking about Christ? So that's another thing. When God brings you through and with your testimony, you standing in your truth, because there's going to be 1 or 2 witnesses that went through that trial with you. So it's going to be someone you could call and say, yeah, that was God. That happened in her life. Okay. Because God going to make 2 witnesses. But now you're not out here bragging, as a good man. Oh yeah, God gave me grace and favor and, and everything. You're really standing in your truth for other people, to let them know this is how your power is activated. Don't go in there and get depressed and despaired and be down and Debbie Downer and depressed. Yeah, you're going to feel the pain. You're going to feel the suffering. But, joy comes in the morning. All right. And this intimacy that you're going to get with God for this pain is something superb, because some power is coming behind this if you believe it. But so now when you're expressing this to these people, you're not saying it to brag or with ego. You're saying it to share the good news. Okay. Because all they seen was the pain, but they don't see the joy after it. So how you going to tell them about the pain, but not the joy? Right. That's just like giving birth to a child. They seen you was pregnant, but they never seen the baby. You're so happy when you gave birth to the child. I had a boy, I had a girl. You're so excited. You're telling everyone, right? And now when the child then graduated from college, yeah, my kid is a doctor. He's this and that. And you're bragging like it was all you. And it isn't all you, because God is there with you in this time. So then when the bad things come, right? Now you don't want to take that. Oh, that had to be the enemy. Why did God do that? Right? Because God said, no, you was taking all the accolades. You had a girl, you had a boy. Your kid is doing this, he doing that. But remember me? Remember the purpose? Remember I gave you the gift? Remember that idol that you love more than me? Your child? Okay, so that's when he reminds you with humility. I could take it away, that kid. That's mine. I could take all that away because you forgetting about me, great mother. And I need you for generations and generations, like Abraham, to plant these seeds, not only in your one kid, future generations. When you leave, they know who they depending on spiritually. Because when you gone, that money, you can't take money with you. You can't take none of these stuff that you could leave, wealth, nothing. Only thing gonna be left is what you planted in their mind that they could take with them, okay? And when your generations is going through what they're going to go through in these days and times, they're going to need spiritual, they're going to need the Holy Spirit in them, helping them fight these battles. They're going to need to know the stories of Jesus Christ, them parables. They're going to need to know that God was their real father before their parents came, so they won't be depressed when we die, that they know they still got God and they could count on God. So I'm just so excited as a parent on this Mother's Day. That maybe I'm not surrounded by family. Maybe I'm only getting text messages, but I know as a mom how he activated my power. You know what I'm saying? How he got me in a season that I'm just glad to be a mother today. So I just wanted to come out here because I got to get to work, guys, and just get people excited about being a mom today. Yeah, being a mom, no matter what season you in, and know that pain or whatever you may be going through is so you could get closer to God, so you can have an intimate relationship with him, so you can be that matriarch for your future generations, okay? All right, ladies, let's stop acting up like we think it's over because the kids is out the house or because the kids is too little. No, it's a lot of work for us to do as mothers, okay? Yeah, we want to physically give them everything. We want to physically give them everything. We sure do. But I'm telling you, ain't nothing that you can give them. Nothing you can give them. Nothing you can give them more important and then leaving them that spirituality. So when you die, they know, Dad, my mom left me wealth, generation, wisdom, street smart, left me all of that. But you know what? When times get hard, I know I can lean on God. I know I can call on my brother. I know I can call on my brother, Jesus Christ. I know he left the Holy Spirit. So when I start feeling down and low, so thank you, Father God, and just thank everybody. I want you to have a happy Mother's Day. I gotta get off this phone, guys. I'm in trouble. I love y'all and enjoy your day. Happy Mother's Day. This is Sipping Tea with S.W.P. saying happy Mother's Day to all the strong warriors out there. No matter what pain y'all went through, know your pain is bringing y'all power today. Okay, we are Power Rangers as moms. We give birth to these kids. We end up having to take care of them all these years, feed them, no matter how we do it. But we got to know that power came within from God. And he gave us these kids because they have gifts, they have purposes. And even when they're grown, now it's time to do our purpose for him. We were so tunnel vision raising our kids. Now what purpose we got to do for God now? Okay, let's figure that out. So happy Mother's Day, ladies. Enjoy it.